What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the real reason why AJ Styles is actually retiring at the Royal Rumble, a wrestling company apologizes for its use of ice as a wrestler gets a huge amount of backlash, weather causing chaos for WWE, why WWE are spoiling the Royal Rumble, 2K26 drops a new teaser, are fans unhappy with this title reign, sad news for Mick Foley as his mother passes away, Samantha IRVIN never returning back to WWE, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now first story looks at the real reason AJ Styles is retiring at the Royal Rumble. Our top story today looks at the latest when it comes to AJ Styles, as there is rampant speculation that the wrestling legend is indeed retiring this coming weekend at the Royal Rumble PLE. When AJ's match versus Gunther was announced last week on Raw, everyone was assuming that this was going to be some type of swerve and that AJ would either win or the match would be a no contest. However, after WWE delivered AJ vs Shinsuke Nakamura on Saturday night's main event, and after Nakamura accidentally posted details of AJ's planned retirement on Instagram this past weekend, there is now concern that AJ is indeed wrapping things up this coming weekend. The Royal Rumble could very well be his final ever match in WWE. The latest report on the matter is concerning to say the very least, as PW Insider Elite are reporting that AJ is likely finishing up before WrestleMania 42, and the Royal Rumble is one of his personal choices. PWInsiderElite.com was told several months ago that Styles would likely finish up before WrestleMania 42, with the Rumble being one of the choices. Now this is obviously disappointing, as AJ deserves to retire at WrestleMania, and a match that was only announced last week being AJ's final ever match is such a letdown. There's also concern from fans on social media that this is going to ruin the Rumble itself. The Rumble is traditionally one of the most exciting shows of the calendar year, and if WWE delivers AJ's retirement at the start of the show, then it may completely deflate the crowd for the rest of the broadcast. There's also the chance that WWE fans in attendance think that AJ retiring is just one big swerve, and that he's going to enter the Royal Rumble match and win. When this inevitably doesn't occur, WWE may be potentially facing a situation where the crowd turns on the subsequent Rumble matches, and the Men's Rumble winner could end up getting heavily booed. We could even be facing a situation that is similar to what took place in 2014 and 2015, and WWE should look to avoid this at all costs. There's also the possibility that this entire story is a work for, well, what else? WWE Unreal. We really can't rule this out, as we've seen time and time again that WWE manufactures stories just for the Netflix show, and a lot of fans believe that Nakamura wouldn't have outright spoiled AJ's retirement on his public Instagram story without WWE's prior approval. What do you guys think? Is this AJ retiring just one big huge swerve? Are WWE gearing up for Unreal Season 4 with this? Next up, a wrestling company apologizes for use of ice. Now, the world is still shaking from the incident in the US involving ice agents over the weekend. One independent wrestling promotion has decided to play into the tragedy in the worst possible way. The Real Canadian Wrestling Company would have one of their wrestlers pose as an ice agent for a recent show, and naturally this received a ton of backlash and may have been a step too far. Due to the backlash, the company has issued a formal statement which read, "RCW does not endorse, approve or have prior knowledge of the actions presented by the wrestler in question. The depiction involving ice was not communicated to RCW management and was unknown to the organization until the said wrestler was already in the ring. Real Canadian Wrestling apologizes to any individuals or groups who are offended, disturbed, or impacted by the actions presented during the event. We take full responsibility for addressing this matter and acknowledge the harm and discomfort this situation may have caused." The statement adds that the wrestler has been released from the promotion and he won't be performing for the organization in any capacity ever again. Effective immediately, the wrestler in question has been removed from Real Canadian Wrestling and all affiliate promotions and will no longer be performing or appearing for the organization in any capacity. RCW does not condone ICE, its members. RCW remains committed to fostering an environment of respect and accountability within our organization and our community. Further steps are being taken with our legal team to deal with this matter and individuals that have posted false information regarding this event. It seems that swift action was taken, and the wrestler was indeed fired for it. Next up, weather causing chaos for WWE. The severe weather in the US is reportedly causing problems for WWE and their talent. Although Raw tonight is still scheduled to go ahead as usual, there have been a ton of flight cancellations, meaning that talent have been driving vans rented by the company. WWE is dealing with a ton of travel issues due to the major storm hitting the United States and Canada right now. In the absence of flights, since there are so many cancellations, WWE staff and talents who are needed for Raw in Toronto have been driving in vans rented by the company. That is a 5 to 6 hour drive in good weather, and many left as soon as they were cleared to leave Saturday night's main event. The report adds that talent may miss their 1 to 2 days at home due to the problematic weather, and it's likely that some talent are now going to fly directly to Saudi Arabia for the Royal Rumble. Talents who were not on the road for Saturday night's main event but are indeed for Raw had their travel rebooked to fly yesterday to try and get ahead of the weather. Others who were not needed until Riyadh find themselves stranded and losing their 1 to 2 days at home and will instead likely try to head to Toronto before heading to Riyadh. WWE usually brings talents over several days in advance to prevent any issues with the shows there. I believe talents begin heading there Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, it's possible that certain talent are forced to miss Raw due to the weather, and we're already having one name that is confirmed to be absent from the show. Raw ring announcer Alicia Taylor will miss the show due to her flight being cancelled, and she will be replaced by the legendary Lillian Garcia, who was thankfully already in Canada due to Saturday night's main event. Next up, fans are unhappy with this title reign. One of the trending topics on social media right now relates to, well, none other than Jade Cargill, specifically her women's WWE title reign. Despite the title being an active world title in the company, Cargill hasn't defended the title a single time in her 86-day reign. Another criticism comes from the fact that Cargill's in-ring time since winning the title equates to that of a standard TV match. Granted, WWE has had injury issues, but there are no excuses why Cargill has yet to defend the title, so it's understandable why fans are so annoyed with this reign. Cargill has attempted to clap back at fans on social media by claiming that the hate is fueling her, but the hatred isn't for her specifically. The hate is focused on the booking and presentation of a world title on a main roster. It's looking likely that Cargill defends the WWE Women's title against Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 42, but this depends on whether Belair gets the all clear. If Belair is still medically disqualified from active competition at WrestleMania, then this puts WWE in an extremely difficult position, as SmackDown has clearly run out of names for Cargill to face, so they may be forced to bring in a legend or move a wrestler from the Raw brand. What an absolute mess. Next up, why WWE are spoiling the Royal Rumble. Speaking of anger from fans have really taken issue with the fact that WWE has revealed so many names from the Royal Rumble matches this weekend. As things stand, 1/3 of the men's entrants have been revealed, while 1/2 of the women's field is now set. According to fans on social media, this ruins the fun of the Rumble, with numerous tweets going viral on X criticizing WWE's approach. Now, in all fairness, from WWE's perspective, the names advertised are names that fans would have already logically assumed would be in the match. Names such as Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky have been heavily advertised for the show, so this isn't exactly a major spoiler. As long as WWE aren't outright spoiling which surprise names are returning in the match itself, then there really isn't an issue here. Additionally, it used to be common practice for WWE to announce virtually every name under the sun for the match. Take for instance the 2004 Rumble, every name was announced prior to the show, and this didn't influence the quality of the show itself. It's also possible that WWE are limiting the amount of surprises on the show itself. It was previously reported that due to the show taking place in Saudi Arabia, WWE were concerned about surprises leaking out, so this is something that fans need to consider when it comes to the 2026 Rumble. Next up is a release name AEW bound. A former WWE NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa confirmed his WWE departure last week, and now one AEW name is pushing for the company to sign him to a contract. The name in question is the legendary Jim Ross, who had this to say on his podcast. I think that's logical. If you know AEW as I do, he's somebody you wouldn't pass on, you know? He's a good worker, and he's got a lot of name recognition in the business. He can have great matches with anybody. He's solid. Ciampa is clearly a logical fit for the company, especially due to AEW losing so many top names over the past 12 months or so. Some fans have been calling on Johnny Gargano to join Ciampa in the new promotion, such as AEW, as Gargano is another name that seems to be floundering in the company. Next up, Samantha Irvin never returning to WWE. Samantha Irvin is considered by many to be one of the greatest ring announcers of all time, and her WWE departure last year shocked the world. It turned out that Irvin wanted to break out of the role she was placed in, and when WWE didn't agree, she opted to part ways with the promotion. Sadly though, even though many fans believed that she would be back in WWE, Irvin has now confirmed via X that she is not returning to WWE, and that she seems rather insistent that her next pro wrestling venture won't be in the promotion. Next up, 2K26 drops a new teaser. 2K have now dropped a new teaser for 2K26, and it's not much, but there are some interesting additions. In the teaser we can find a picture of an iguana, which seemingly relates to Mr. Iguana being in the game, a shopping cart, which could even be Raven or Crash Holly having the hardcore division in WWE during the Attitude Era, a list of matches on VHS tapes, which are Clash at the Castle, CM Punk vs Rollins vs Reigns at WrestleMania 41, John Cena vs Randy Orton, or Tan as it says on there, most probably being the I Quit match that's being added in, a WrestlePalooza tape, which could even be AJ Lee and Punk vs Seth and Becky, a Night of Champions, but we're not sure which one. There's also some fur boots, which could be Melina, and a two-tone wig, a mic with the WWE Attitude Era logo on it, draft mode being marked in on the calendar. Many couldn't see it, but there are thumbtacks, which could even mean Cactus Jack vs Triple H at the Royal Rumble 2000, or even the Hell in a Cell match from 1998, and Blake Monroe's mirror. Did you catch any of these details? Now you're looking forward to WWE 2K26. Next up, sad news for Mick Foley as his mother passes away. Unfortunately, some sad news as WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley just announced that his mother has died after a prolonged battle with dementia. Foley did share the news in a heartfelt social media post explaining that he struggled with whether to make her passing public because she was a deeply private person whose final wishes included no visitation, no funeral, and no obituary. In the end, Foley and his family decided that honoring her life with a tribute might also offer comfort to others experiencing a similar loss. He would write, "Goodbye, Mum. It is with heavy heart I share the news of my mother's passing, following a long battle with dementia. My mother was an intensely private person, and I have struggled in trying to decide whether I should make her passing public." Foley would end the message by saying, "I encourage you all to appreciate the little things. Tell your loved ones that they are loved. Never take a single precious moment for granted. Goodbye, Mom. I love you very much and will always be proud to be Mrs. Foley's baby boy." And we want to offer our condolences to Mick Foley and his family during this incredibly hard time. And finally, Road Dogg fires back. Now, final story today looks at Road Dogg, who's fired back at fans. Road Dogg is heavily criticized online for his creative output, and sadly his appearances on WWE Unreal Season 2 have only elevated this criticism. Road Dogg would poke fun at the calls to see him replaced via X on Friday, and when one fan outright stated that he needs to be fired, this is what he came back with. That's what y'all are thinking? Wow, I appreciate y'all thinking of me, especially a legend of the NWA. The majority of Road Dogg's posts on the platform are swamped with negativity, with a number of fans still calling for a change in the creative department. Whilst abuse of any kind isn't okay, WWE have put Road Dogg in a very difficult position, as his appearance on Netflix show made him look completely incompetent, and fans can only judge him based on what they've seen on the show. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.